Hi there, and welcome to the weekly Asylum and Immigration Reform Update, where I share with you 5 recent stories of interest to asylum seekers and those who want to stay current on immigration news. This week, we're discussing
a Human Rights First report reveals U.S. border policies are endangering asylum-seeking migrants, with thousands camped in harsh conditions and an urgent need for action to protect their rights and safety. The number of unauthorized migrants crossing the U.S.-Mexico border dropped significantly in June to over 100,000, attributed to stricter asylum rules and increased deportations as per unpublished government data. Due to a new Florida law penalizing employers of undocumented workers, many such workers are losing jobs, resulting in financial hardship and creating a climate of fear preventing them from voicing their experiences. There's renewed optimism for immigration reforms a decade after a bipartisan Senate vote, with strong public support for solutions to immigration issues, potential economic benefits, and the introduction of new House bills indicating a return to bipartisan, solution-focused leadership. And Latino members of President Biden's cabinet defended the administration's immigration efforts, highlighting progress with unaccompanied minors, a decrease in border encounters, family reunification efforts, and increased support for small businesses, despite challenges such as migrant exploitation and asylum case backlogs.
I'm Brian Manning. I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum lawyer, I help immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. It's my pleasure to bring you asylum and immigration reform updates each week right here on the Political Asylum Lawyers YouTube channel. Okay, let's get to the news. First up,
a report by Human Rights First has found that U.S. border policies are endangering migrants seeking asylum. The report details the dangers faced by people seeking asylum in the 2 months since the Biden administration lifted Title 42. The report was based on attorney and researcher visits to the southern border and included interviews with more than 300 migrants and asylum seekers in Mexican cities such as Reynosa and Matamoros. Thousands of people are camped out in large makeshift encampments amid a persistent and brutal summer heat wave. The report highlights the need for urgent action to protect the rights and safety of migrants and asylum seekers at the border.
And next up, for update number 2,
the number of migrants crossing the U.S.-Mexico border without authorization in June dropped to the lowest level since the start of the Biden administration, according to unpublished government data obtained by CBS News. Border Patrol agents recorded just over 100,000 apprehensions last month, a sharp drop from the 169,000 apprehensions reported in May. The decrease can be attributed to stricter asylum rules and increased regular deportations, which impose stiffer penalties, such as 5-year banishments and the threat of criminal prosecution. The Title 42 expulsions, which allowed officials to summarily expel hundreds of thousands of migrants, did not impose these penalties and fueled a massive jump in repeat crossings among those expelled to Mexico.
All right, time for our third immigration update.
Predictably, undocumented migrants in Florida are being fired from their jobs due to a new state law that imposes fines on employers for using undocumented workers. An undocumented woman, who requested anonymity, shared that she was fired from her job at a restaurant because of her immigration status. She expressed concern about supporting her family in her home country and the impact this has on her household. The new law has led to the termination of employment for undocumented migrants, causing financial hardship and uncertainty for these people. Undocumented workers fear of retaliation that prevents them from speaking out about their experiences.
And moving right along, update number 4.
A decade after a bipartisan Senate vote on immigration reforms, there's renewed optimism for similar progress. The past proposed bill would have enhanced border security, provided a path to legalization for undocumented immigrants, and established legalization routes for farm workers. Despite increased political division over the issue, the majority of Americans desire solutions to labor shortages, border challenges, and the plight of dreamers and farm workers. Polling data indicate strong bipartisan support for cooperative immigration reforms. The projected economic benefit of reforms includes a $3 trillion boost to GDP over 10 years and significant deficit reduction. Current immigration backlogs, labor shortages, and the predicament of dreamers suggest the urgent need for updated policies. Recently introduced House bills hint at a return to solution-focused, bipartisan leadership, echoing the American public's readiness for constructive change.
And finally, our fifth immigration update for this week.
Latino members of President Biden's cabinet, including the Health and Human Services Secretary and the Homeland Security Secretary, defended the administration's efforts on immigration and unaccompanied minors at a panel discussion. They highlighted progress in moving migrant children from adult detention facilities to licensed care facilities in less than 24 hours. They also acknowledged challenges, including migrant child exploitation and backlog of asylum cases. The Homeland Security Secretary noted a 70% drop in encounters at the southern border due to new lawful pathways. The administration's family reunification efforts were mentioned, along with issues created by restrictive state immigration laws. The administrator of the U.S. Small Business Administration cited increased support for small businesses and low Latino unemployment.
And that wraps up this week's immigration news. If you want to win asylum in the United States, then you should call my office today. That number is 713-352-1593. We help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you are. Call us now to schedule an asylum strategy session so that we can help you secure your future in America through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's an honor to serve you in your immigration journey.